multidimensional for enterprise IT adoption of cloud computing. So, I think that Amazon, some of the other online consumer services are large-scale examples of server virtualization. These guys have, abstracted away all the physical server hardware, storage, networking, all that. And when you log into an online cloud computing platform, you are provisioning virtual machines and virtual storage. But in the enterprise, you clearly need to also abstract the applications. If you force upon application developers in the enterprise to understand and think about where the physical or virtual machines are running, how do I build my applications for a particular target environment, then that's putting too much burden on the business unit application developer. What they want to be able to do is focus on the business logic, build a great business application that solves some problem, that provides some value to the organization, which makes customer service easier, which helps me sell my products, etc., empowers my customers in some fundamental way. So there clearly needs to be some abstraction layer between applications and even the operating system. So there needs to be some virtualization layer between the OS and the application, just the way the hypervisor technology, like VMware, has created the abstraction layer between the physical machines and the operating system. And I'm sure lots of folks are talking about virtualization this week. I won't belabor the point, but I will say though that in the enterprise, to achieve cloud computing, you need to be able to do application virtualization as well. And what virtualization of the application buys you as an enterprise IT organization is that it abstracts all of the OS and infrastructure away from the application developer. I mean, I think we're all very familiar with what hypervisor and VMware is able to provide to abstracting the physical world, but I think what we're seeing here is that the enterprise cloud really does require software that allows portability and moving of applications. So what we're talking about a lot in the marketplace, and I think what we're learning from customers in our conversations and the customers that we're working with around cloud computing is that in the enterprise, what the application infrastructure groups want to be able to do is to do lift and load applications. They want to be able to pick up an application that's running in one data center on VMware and move it to another, another virtual machine based on load, based on availability, based on how much workload is on that application or how many users are on that application. And they want all of that movement and portability and manageability to be automated. So clearly, since availability is a much higher issue in the enterprise than it is perhaps in the consumer online space, or some of the cloud computing spaces, what the enterprise IT folks that we talk to clearly want to be able to do is say, if one application goes down, I want to be able to start the thing up on another application or another set of infrastructure somewhere else, and that's to be seamless, and I can't put the burden of knowing where that application is going to run onto the application developer. It needs to be virtual. It needs to be abstracted. So lift and load application infrastructure is a powerful idea for enterprise IT as they adopt cloud computing models. Centralized control of infrastructure and developers and process. This is another kind of, I think, central theme that we see when we talk to operations teams who are looking at building either enterprise clouds or adopting cloud computing. IT operations needs to manage in a number of different dimensions. They need to manage from the cost perspectives, and they need to